Iron cross workout, warm up to cool down. Let's get into it. We're gonna start with a simple warm up on the wrists. Most bodyweight training involves some use of the wrist. Today will be no different. After we do those wrist circles, we're gonna move to some false grip push-ups. We're obviously gonna be utilizing the false grip today, so let's get prepared. Next, we're gonna encourage some blood flow to the biceps with some banded curls. Iron cross is gonna focus on your biceps, your chest, and your shoulders, so the warm up should reflect that. With these curls, be focusing on a tight contraction at the top and a full elongation of the biceps on the way down. This tabletop is good preparation for the straight arm demands that are coming up in this workout. Pay particular attention to the turning of the elbow pit out at the top of every repetition. This is going to get that stretch and stress demand onto the biceps where it should be, and secondarily onto the chest and the shoulders. Moving on to push-ups, we're going to follow a very slow tempo on the way down. Every 3 reps, take the hands a little bit wider over 3 stages. I find this is a lot more appropriate given the iron cross than just repping out push-ups, but it's a warm-up, so we're not going for a width PR here, just something that you can manage over 3 stages. Finally, support hold 20 seconds on the rings. Make sure you get that ring turn out. This is a very similar feel to the iron cross, hitting similar muscles. It's just very much scaled back and a great way to finish this warm-up. Today we're going to be focusing on pressing as opposed to statics, starting with this jumping iron cross. I would do 2 warm-up sets. I'd be jumping with a little bit more power on the concentric, and I'll be lowering a little bit faster for that eccentric. To progress the concentric portion, you would be putting the rings higher up so that you have to use more strength to press yourself up to that support position, presuming that you're not just going to jump more to get up there. On the eccentric, it's all about slowing it down. Think about a 6 or 7 out of 10, but you want to have your form locked in, shoulders depressed, arms locked straight, engage that false grip as you lower down, but you're never looking to hold. You're always just looking to move slowly through an iron cross, thinking of it like an iron cross negative. One last thing here is, it kind of goes without saying, but I feel I need to mention it, is keep those arms locked straight, damn it. I would probably advise filming myself and being very strict on form, because I think most people do it without realizing. You need that visual feedback so you can be objective. Upside down cross pulls, and yes, I will admit this is a bit of an elaborate setup. You need that high, wide bar, and you do need to be able to keep your hamstrings flexed. I did more of a butterfly press variation, which just means I took the dumbbells through a wider variation, lowering them to above my head. That's just so I can take the chest through a wider range of motion. And I do feel like this one is targeting the chest and has benefits in contrast to doing banded cross pull downs or cable cross pull downs. And I'll explain why in a minute. But first, the second exercise is iron cross presses with the bands. We loop a ring through we loop a band through the ring, and the other end of the band we loop through a horizontal bar. This is a big part of our straight arm conditioning. It's replicating the movement, but at an intensity that allows us to push our weakest link, the biceps and biceps tendon, just that little bit further. Now these 2 exercises are similar, but the stress is in different areas. In those upside down cross presses, you've got the stress mainly in the actual cross position. And with these banded pull downs, the stress is at its highest when we are pressing into a support position. So moving on to some bent arm strength for the chest and shoulders. I really like the Bulgarian dip, but I find a lot of people have limitation in their shoulder mobility to actually get into the right bottom position. So what we're gonna do is do a superset that involves strength and mobility, so that we're still building strength today, but we're making that investment to build that range so we can employ the Bulgarian dip later in our programming. So with the dip, we're gonna make this harder by increasing weight rather than increasing reps. Once we've done those dips, be thinking an 8 out of 10 for effort. Superset that immediately with your Cuban rotations. Cuban rotations, we keep the shoulders depressed the entire time, and we're really focusing on not dropping the elbows as we go for that internal rotation of the shoulder. It's not about how much weight you can move, it's more using that weight to facilitate the internal rotation of the shoulder. You can finish this workout with a pec stretch, 30 seconds each side. You can play around with the position, but generally 90 degrees for the arm to the torso works the best. And if you guys enjoyed this workout but wanted more of of a general selection of exercises, check out this workout for intermediate calisthenics trainees.